Hello there guys, and welcome to another video. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the new update on the 5th of May. Now I'm going to start off with the bad news. We are not going to be getting the XP system this week. So it's very unlikely that we're going to get it this month at all. It's going to be the first update in June that we are more likely to be getting the update for the leveling system. They're going to coincide it with a full wipe, which will mean the blueprint wipe, the map wipe, when they update all the maps. So it isn't going to be this week. Definitely not. Aside from that, we've got a load of new good things. So the first notable thing that I'm going to talk about is the fishing trap. So now we can make fishing traps. If we just open up here, we can find the... There we are. Survival fishing trap. So it costs 200 wood and 2 cloth to make. And once you've placed it down, so I'll quickly just show you. You can't place it if the water is too shallow, and if you go too deep, you also cannot place it. So you need to find this nice little common ground where you can pop on. And all you need to do is open it up, and you just need to fill it up with some food. So you pop some food in there, and the more better food you put in there, the better chance you have of catching a big fish. So if we just take a look at this one here, I've caught 2 fish in there. The durability drops by 10 every time you catch a new fish. So I've got 2 fish in here, is that 2 of my food, and there they are. It's a small trout. You either get a small trout or you can get a bunch of minnows. So it's a small group of edible fish. You can eat these ones straight away. They do not need to be cooked. If you eat them, it should take away your water, but it's actually adding it now. They've added in a saltiness effect to food. So if you go ahead now and eat the cooked human meat, it'll take a fair chunk of your water away, which will drive you to be dehydrated a lot quicker. But anyway, back to the fish. So small trout and minnows. So the small trout, you gut it, hit gut, and it gives you some of the uncooked raw fish. And then we have cooked fish. It's very similar in food-wise to the cooked chicken. So that's the first thing of today's update then, guys. So aside from that, we've also now got some better stuff with stacking. So charcoal, now instead of stacking to 500, it will stack to 1000, and with 5.56 ammo, it now stacks to 100, which is a lot better for people that like to use the assault rifle. Now we also have the reactive target. It now costs less than it previously did, so it's only 100 wood and 150 metal fragments. It now also is exactly as it says. It is a reactive target, so if we shoot it down, it will bounce back by itself. It takes around about 6 seconds, so if we just wait here, it will pop back up. There we go. So it'll pop up completely by itself after around about 6 seconds. So you now don't have to run around if you set yourself up a nice little shooting range. So now you may also have noticed this nice little barrel here. This is a replacement to the water barrel. The water barrel is no more the freestanding one that was on the ground. It is now purely this water dispenser. So it is now the one with the tap on. It's very nice. Works exactly the same as it previously did. The only downside to it is the fact that the tap's on the front and that you can only get half of the water out of it. Obviously it doesn't work like that, but it's just a little pet peeve of mine. So the next update that we have is an update to the auto turret. So if I turn this off, we can open up the settings, and now we can see it's got an attack all. So it will attack anybody that's not authorized, or you can set it to Peacekeeper Mode. So in Peacekeeper Mode, it will target armed or hostile players. So if you have a shop or outside your base, if you get a turret set up, if anybody comes past this holding a weapon or is shooting or doing anything that they shouldn't be doing around, well, that you don't want them to be doing around you, your auto turret will target them and start shooting at them. Another nice looking part of the new update are these new looking power lines. You'll notice now that some of them are actually broken. They're not all the same. You'll go along, you'll find some that, like this first one here, slightly broken off at the top, and then if we go over here, you have this one that's completely fell over, and then we have a standard normal looking one just up over here. Now they do work exactly the same as they previously did. They do lead from one monument to another from landmarks around the map. So following them is still going to be what you're going to do when you're looking for monuments. It's just that they look a lot better and they fit the game a lot better than they previously did. We also have some new textures now in the dungeon art part of things. So in the monuments, you're going to get some more stuff just looking a bit more up together. Looks a hell of a lot nicer. So Vince has been doing a lot of work on this over the past month, and we've got a lot more in. I'm not going to go around and show you everything because I can't show you everything in this map, but you'll get around exploring and you'll notice it's just one thing to keep an eye out. There's a lot more fancy dungeon art going around. One minor thing that I forgot about when I was touching on food earlier is mushrooms. Mushrooms will now spawn more in, like, all around, so you'll see a lot more of them on the ground, but they will now only spawn in forested areas. They will not spawn in the desert, they will not spawn in the snow, and you will only find them in places where there is no grass. So over here we wouldn't find them, but just over on these parts where there's no grass you will find them. So they'll be a lot easier to find, and they will be a lot more prominent in the forested areas. So when you're spawning off in the desert, you're going to be a lot more unfortunate because you can't get a quick fix with some mushroom. Another welcomed addition, guys, of today's update is going to be new mountains. So not all mountains now are completely covered with snow at the top. So if you see here just below me, we have a mountain where there's breaks in the snow. It is slightly more climatized, so you will be able to climb over this mountain without getting desperately cold and losing a lot of health and possibly dying when you have no clothes in the early game. So you will be able to traverse the landscape a hell of a lot easier. So next up, we're going to have one of the biggest and best parts of the update, so just hold tight and I'll get you there in a second. So here we have it, guys. This has been one of the most highly requested things ever since it's been removed, is the re-addition of the snow biome. So if you once again go to the northmost point of the map, you will find the snow biome. I don't believe it's quite as big as it previously was, but it's still just as good as it was. You will need clothes if you're coming up here, and just note that you won't find mushrooms anymore in this area, so you're not going to be getting any substantial amounts of food up here, other than the occasional animal, so just a pig just down there. But you will not be able to find easy food in the early game, and you will definitely be extremely cold in the early game. So it is broken up a little bit, and you will get patches where you won't be quite so cold, but we now have the snow biome back, so everyone will be extremely happy. If you get to any height, then you do get the fog, so sniper towers are going to be pretty hard up in this snow biome, but it is back. Everybody's going to be really happy, and you will get a lot of big bases up here where all the pros like to go and hide out. So just be wary of that if you are a new player and you are wanting to stay away from the bigger guys, the guys that you would typically get really a lot of grief off. So just stay tight, stay in the desert if you are worried about the more pro players. So there we are, guys. That is everything for today's update. I'm not 100% sure on what this is, but I've just got Twitter loaded up on my second screen, and we do have a new update, which is fixed metal face masks not always protecting against headshots. Now, obviously, it is what it says on the tin, is going to get slightly more protection from a metal face mask. Sometimes, apparently, they are not protecting against headshots. I do not have the capability to test this at the moment, and I don't think it's been pushed actually into the branch yet, so it cannot be tested. But we're going to get a slightly more protection from metal face masks from this point onwards with this update. Now, there may still be additional updates coming other than what I have covered in today's video, so if you do want to keep up to date on that, then just keep an eye on Rust on Reddit, or head over onto Twitter and check up at Rust Updates. I will leave a link for it down in the description of the video. They post everything that they do when they're pushing an update, or anything that goes into the game gets posted on Rust Updates, so you can find out what's going on step by step. Every step of the day is continuously being updated. So thank you very much, guys. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button, and if you would like to see more content from myself, then please do hit that subscribe button. I will just bear in mind that I am currently going to be away for a couple of weeks due to my wedding, so content will not be as prominent as it used to be. It will be back to normal schedule in around about 2 weeks time when I get back from my honeymoon, and we will be rocking and rolling again with daily uploads, and we will be getting a new schedule. So thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.